नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
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 नारायणं नमस्कृत्य
नारायणं नमस्कृत्य
नरं चैव नरोत्तमं
नरं चैव नरोत्तमं
देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं
देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं
ततो जयमुदीरयेत्।
ततो जयमुदीरयेत्।
नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु
नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु
नित्यं भागवतसेवया
नित्यं भागवतसेवया
भगवती उत्तमा श्लोके
भगवती उत्तमा श्लोके
भक्तिर्भवती नैष्टिकी।
भक्तिर्भवती नैष्टिकी।
ॐ अज्ञानातिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवंश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथं वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपदान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितंश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमस्तुते। तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। सकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। ज्ञानतिमिरस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकाय चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले प्रभुपादातिप्रिय श्रीगिरिराजाय स्वामिने सुभक्तराधारास्विहाभ्यं भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिने। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादिकाचार्य। मुखं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदेवं। Hare Krishna. So we are reading Canto 5, Chapter 4, the characteristics of Rishabdev. So we are reading text 5. Six. यस्याः पाण्डवेय श्लोका उदाहरन्ति को नु तत्कर्मा राजर्षे नाभेरन्वाचरेत् पुमान् अपत्याताम् अगात्यस्य हरिशुद्धेन कर्मणा. O Maharaj Parikshit, to glorify Maharaj Nabhi, the old sages composed 2 verses. One of them is this: who can attain the perfection of Maharaj Nabhi? Who can attain his activities? Because of his devotional service, the Supreme Personal Godhead agreed to become his son. The word Shuddhena Karmana are significant in this verse. If work is not carried out in devotional service, it is contaminated by the modes of material nature. That is explained in Bhagavad Gita. Yagyarthat karmano nyatra lokoyam karma bandhanaha. Activities performed only for the satisfaction of the Supreme Lord are pure and are not contaminated by the modes of material nature. All other activities are contaminated by the modes of ignorance and passion, as well as goodness. All material activities meant for satisfying the senses are contaminated. And Maharaj Nabhi didn't perform anything contaminated. He simply executed his transcendental activities even when performing yajna. Consequently, he obtained the Supreme Lord as his son. So this is a very good indication for all of us. You know, how is it that in one household you find all good children are born, right? Isn't it? All good children. Brothers, sisters, and then their children also, they're all good people, right? Because father and mother, they are in goodness. And they don't commit sinful activities. So it's understood whoever has taken birth in this material world has some material desire. So nobody is without any, some contamination. We can't say that. But while we are here, if somehow, you know, intelligence is sufficiently awakened and we act like this, yagyarthat karmano nyatra lokoyam karma bandhanaha, meaning that even though we have contaminated desires, but we are ready to serve the Supreme Lord, we are ready to give the result to Vishnu, right? So then there is good children are born, which brings name to your family. Text 7. Brahmanyonya kuto nabhed vipra mangala pujitah yasya barhishi yagyesham darshayam asurojasa. The second prayer is this: who is a better worshipper of Brahmanas than Maharaj Nabhi? Because he worshipped the qualified Brahmanas to their full satisfaction. The Brahmanas, by their Brahminical prowess, showed Maharaj Nabhi, the Supreme Person Godhead, Narayan in person. So the previous verse, so two verses were spoken. One is, who can attain the perfection of Maharaj Nabhi? Who can attain his activities? Because of his devotional service, the Supreme Person Godhead agreed to become his son. This is the first. Second prayer is, who is a better worshipper of Brahmanas than Maharaj Nabhi? Alright? Because he worshipped the qualified Brahmanas to their full satisfaction. The Brahmanas, by their Brahminical prowess, showed Maharaj Nabhi, the Supreme Person Godhead, Narayan in person. The Brahmanas engaged as priests in the sacrificial ceremony were not ordinary Brahmanas. They were so powerful that they could bring forth the Supreme Person Godhead by their prayers. Thus Maharaj Nabhi was able to see the Lord face to face. Unless one is a Vaishnava, he cannot call for the Supreme Person Godhead. The Lord doesn't accept an invitation unless one is a Vaishnava. Therefore it is said in Padma Puran, Sat karma nipuno vipro mantra tantra visharadaha avaishnava gurur nasyat vaishnava shwapacho guruhu. A scholarly Brahmana expert in all subjects of Vedic knowledge is unfit to become a spiritual master without being a Vaishnava. But a person born in the family of a lower caste can become a spiritual master if he is a Vaishnava. These Brahmanas were certainly very expert in chanting the Vedic mantras. They were competent in the performance of the Vedic rituals, and over and above this they were Vaishnavas. Therefore, by their spiritual powers, they could call on the Supreme Person Godhead and enable their disciple Maharaj Nagi to see the Lord face to face. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur comments that the word Ojasa means by dint of devotional service. So therefore, by their spiritual powers, they could call on the Supreme Person Godhead and enable their disciple. So this is the next point. Because the Brahmanas were so qualified. They were not ordinary Brahmanas. They were Vaishnavas. What is this? The meaning of what is the difference between Brahmana and Vaishnava?
Vaishnava, Brahmana is by the birth. Vaishnava by the bhakti.
Not necessarily by birth. These Brahmanas were not by birth.
The one who knows Bhagwan is a Brahman, and the one who accepts Lord Krishna as the only object of worship is a Vaishnava.
Yes. So, a scholarly Brahmana expert in all subjects of Vedic knowledge. So, he's a Brahmana, he's expert in all subjects of Vedic knowledge. Alright, he's a good teacher, he's a professor, alright? He's unfit to become a spiritual master without being a Vaishnava. Alright, he's unfit. But a person born in a family of a lower caste can become a spiritual master if he is a Vaishnava. So these Brahmanas were certainly very expert in chanting the Vedic mantras. Let's put it in our own life. We are all practicing devotees here, right? All of us, we are practicing. Yes. We are not just reading the books and aram, no? Alright? We are all practicing. So these Brahmanas were certainly very expert in chanting the Vedic hymns. So this system that Prabhupada has given us, remember that Kali Yuga is such a painful and dangerous age, right? Everybody knows this in India. Everybody knows the history of India, right? How much dangerous it is. It is dangerous for the hooligans, right? Hooligans. The adventurers, the hooligans, the Vikings, the Asuras, Rakshasas. Right? The world is dangerous for them, right? And now, when with all their brutal force, they demolish the Vedic system, right? So now, when this Vedic system is demolished, so you may be a very highly qualified Brahmana, but you do not have the power to protect the citizens. Right? The history of India is such a disaster, right, with the Brahmanas. They couldn't give shelter to the people. Gradually what they did, they themselves, whoever putting in their system, they very happily accepted it, right? So Prabhupada, Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta, they stood up, right? 2 centuries ago. They stood up. They were warriors, right? They were warriors for our sake, because the public is innocent. Actually, anyway, it is just maybe my opinion. It's like conquest. Conquest is happening, actually Prabhupada also speaks about that. The conquest is happening among 2 huge powers, right? It's like the leader, they capture the leader of another country, right? But India is so huge, right? How will you capture India? You understand? You can't capture India. So they captured, all the leaders, even the intellectual. The British captured the intellectuals. They made them become anglicized. I don't know what word you use. Anglicized, right? So they captured. But Srila Bhaktisiddhanta, what did he do? Right? Srila Bhaktisiddhanta was not captured. He captured the British scholars and he shook them up. Right? Bhaktivinoda Thakur also. He became judge, magistrate in the British government.
घर के आगे से रेलवे लाइन लगा दी अपने वो तो जॉब छोड़ रहे थे ब्रिटिशों ने रेलवे लाइन लगा दिया उनके घर के पास उनको लेने आती थी रेलवे कोर्ट ले जाने के लिए
So it's like so the huge, so that's why, you could say India survived. Because they couldn't capture this huge population. Right? Everybody knows this. You take one simple temple here, as soon as there is a crowd, can you do any crowd control? You can't do any crowd. They will do what they want, right? So how do you think a handful of, leaders, they can capture a population? They can't capture. Right? So therefore, I heard Prabhupada saying that the general population, they continue to follow their dharma. Right? But the knowledge was gone. Kshatriyas already gone, Brahmanas are already gone. Right? So only hidden Brahmanas everywhere. So Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he went and he removed the Chaitanya Charitamrita. It was gone, Chaitanya Charitamrita. What was left was only some Sahaja, Baula, Aula, I don't know what Aula, right? 13 upper Sampradaya. These were the people who was projecting Vaishnavism.
It is still there. The baul songs and all that. It is still there in Bengal.
But Prabhupada now is throwing them out. Right? And before they had captured whole of Bengal. So the reason why today we are still able, again I keep bringing up this point that the government may go on, right? But the people just see during the lockdown what happened, right? Every single devotee was on internet, right? You lock them down, everybody was on internet. Every devotee who have forgotten me, everybody came on internet, right? And as soon as a little crack for the open door, so what's going on?
Like water release from the dam.
Yeah. Yes. And it's still going on like that.
And now you're crazy, you can't even stand there, they push you.
Yes.
You can't even look at
Yeah.
the other husband, you're out. You start from here first, you're out, girl, this Nita, you see, and you run.
Yeah. So this is what we are speaking of. Alright? Because that seed of bhakti, devotion or dharma or believing in Krishna or whatever, it is so much inside those who live in Bharatvarsh that you cannot kill it. So here, in this section, so say that the Brahmana has to be proper. Right? What is the power of the Brahmana? He should be able to give you Krishna. This is what we are talking about here. Two things. One, the qualification of King Nabhi. Right? The first verse spoke about the qualification of King Nabhi. What was his qualification?
Devotee.
Yes.
Because of
He was
devotion.
ready to do devotional service. And the second is what? Yes. Yes. He was in touch with proper Brahmanas who could reveal that Krishna to him. Otherwise, we keep on chanting, we come every day, do you think it's all useless? Every day to come for Mangal Aarti, those of you who live nearby, who have a temple near your homes, don't think there is no value in coming every day for Mangal Aarti. That 1 hour, if you can spare, just pray. That 1 hour, this is what we are talking about here. Because imperceptibly, you are developing a relationship with Krishna. You are developing your dependence on Krishna. And He's reciprocating. And He reveals Himself in, so many ways, unexpected ways, I was telling Koshal yesterday, like what happened, I tell you also.
Others Kaushali share. You have to be impartial, okay, Mataji?
Yeah, see, like it's so automatic, mechanical. Every day we chant, we go for Mangal Aarti, we chant this prayer, that prayer, So I had one pendant, So that was a Mahaprasad from Nrsimhadev, Mayapur, yeah. And I wore it, and Nrsimhadev, we keep tearing everything, so it keep dropping, it breaks all my Kanti Mala. So yesterday when everything was, was set, I had one class, 8:30, I had a reading group, just to say, let me complete my round. So when I went up, to third floor to chant, anyway, I came back, I realized, suddenly my thing was broken. Everything was broken. Say, what happened? Okay, I know it break. Many times it has broken. Where's the pendant? The pendant had disappeared. I'll tell you the story, now that was 8 o'clock at night, alright?
Patience.
8 o'clock in the night, alright? And my class 8:30. I managed to complete my rounds. So I told my friends, listening only, no camera, no audio, nothing, okay? I'm taking jharu. I'm doing marjanam in my room. Where's my pendant? No. 11 o'clock. I didn't want to go to sleep. Where's my pendant? I'm brooming everywhere. The bed, this, then finally I say, and my Guru Maharaj was he was chanting. Then he started chanting the Nrsimhadev prayer. I sat for the first time. I sat and I prayed with him. I'm just saying, we do things so automatically. We forget, right? The day because this is like a gift. right? You know, all of you get a gift from Rara Ras Bihari, you know how you value it, right? But you take it, it's on you, it's there. But now Krishna says, remembering everything from Bhagavatam, what Krishna told the gopis, right? Krishna told the gopis why he disappeared. Because when you have something you don't value, when you lose it, you won't stop thinking about it. So for me, I forgot everything except Nrsimhadev. And it was Jagannath's Rath Yatra yesterday. So whole day, bits and pieces, I would keep on watching Rath Yatra. Jagannath Swami, Nayana Patagami, Nrsimhadev, Nayana Patagami. Nothing, then Mangalarti, I ran for Mangalarti, right? Nrsimhadev, Ito Nrsimha, Parato Nrsimha, Yato, Yamitato Nrsimha, you are everywhere, your eyes are everywhere. Where's the gift you gave me? Because I cannot get it back. Right? Somebody gave me when I was in Mayapur. I cannot just go, okay, next year I will go and say maybe somebody gave me that gift. Right? So I say, your eyes, Yato, Yamitato, right? Ito Nrsimha, Parato Nrsimha, where? You know where are your eyes? I came, then I chanted, and then I opened this book. Actually, I'm on chapter 18 or something. Very, very beautiful prayers. Extremely beautiful prayers from which one is it? Okay, the Virat Rupa. Virat Rupa, again, how the Supreme Lord, how He's manifest. This is how Krishna puts you in certain situation. So, word by word, I'm just seeing Krishna. Well, here it is. Huh?
Chapter 18, is it?
Yeah, I'm chapter 18, so I'm reading this, how you are. Yeah. Oh my Lord, text 30. Oh my Lord, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you, who have assumed the form of a tortoise. You are the reservoir of all transcendental qualities, and being entirely untinged by matter, you are perfectly situated in pure goodness. You move here and there in the water, but no one can discern your position. Right? Because this gift is tadiya, right? It's part of the Supreme Lord's body. So this gift is Krishna himself, right? So I said, but you move here and there. Where are you? You move here and there, but no one can discern your position. Anyway, so finally, did everything. Then I was just waiting. Now I say, I have done. Now let this, boys come. So immediately I went to them. I say, you have to remove everything in my room. I have lost my pendant, the Nrsimhadev pendant. You have to find it. These boys remove the bed, remove the cupboard. They did, what's that? Marjana, Gundicha Marjana. Gundicha Marjana. Then they told me, Maharaji, it's not in the room, it's outside. Then I said, in this Hare Krishna land, where will I find my one pendant? Right? So I said, okay, I have heard that you must endeavor to find Krishna. If you will just sit, right? If you just sit and relax and think, anyway, whatever has to happen has happened, right? So I say, where did I go? Okay, I went to accounts office, so I went there. Prabhuji, I came here, I sat down here. Did I drop my pendant? This poor boy is looking here and there. Where's the pendant? So I went out on corridor, Rara Ras Bihari offered obeisances. I say, Rara Ras Bihari, whoever has seen that pendant will never give me back. right? I say, whoever will pick that will never give it back to me, you know. So I'm on that side, you know, so I'm walking by, and then I came back to the reception there. This room boy came and gave me my pendant.
Cleaner. Temple cleaner.
I went near the balcony, I had offered obeisances, it dropped there. Yeah.
So you had double whammy on Jagannath Rath Yatra day. You had Narsim Dev also. Means imagine. So nice, Mataji, actually.
मेरा साथ ऐसा हुआ मेरा लड्डू गोपाल का पेंडेंट मैं पहनती थी संडे रास बिहारी मेरा सेवा प्रणाम करके ये सब कुछ किचन में सेवा करने गई पता नहीं अचानक से मैं ऐसा ध्यान दिया लड्डू गोपाल नहीं है मैं बाहर आई सुनीति माता जी को बोला प्लीज़ अनाउंस करिए मेरा सोने का पेंडेंट है मेरा कमाई का है मैं मेहनत करके टपर में कमा के लिया था मैं बोली मेरा भूल गया सोने का पेंडेंट उन्होंने अनाउंस किया कि जिसको मिले आफ्टर क्लास तब देखो चालू निकाल के लेकिन नहीं फिर मेरी जान गई सेवा किया घर गई बिल्डिंग में मेरा पेटीकोट में अटक के पड़ा था पेटीकोट साड़ी ऐसा था ना जाली जाली वाला तो लास्ट पोर्शन साड़ी निकाला ना उसमें वो पेटीकोट के साथ वो अटक के पड़ा फिर मैंने सुरभि माता जी को फोन किया माता जी मिल गया फिर वो ऐसे
समटाइम्स होता है वो इधर ही
अंदर से वो अटक के गिरा लेकिन मेरा ध्यान नहीं
एक्चुअली साड़ी पहनते वक्त क्योंकि
नहीं,
जाली
साड़ी
वाला
पहनते वक्त नहीं किचन में जाने मुझे क्या लगा मैं प्रणाम करती हूँ ना तो ऐसा धक्का कभी उठने में साड़ी का ऐसे धक्का लगता है और किचन में भी ना मैं झुकी ना तो मुझे धक्का लगा था कुछ तो बर्तन सब कुछ पड़ा था तो मैं हटाने गई थी सिंक साफ करके फ्रूट कटिंग के लिए पूरा प्लेस साफ करना पड़ता है उसमें वो ऐसा खींच के वो अंदर गिर गया
So this is what, right?
Now you're wearing that pendant.
No, but actually it broke, no?
in the locker.
Well, immediately I put that next to my Nashing Harib. I said, this is yours, right? I said, this is yours. You gave me, this is yours. You know, anyway, I don't know what to do now. It has broken many times, but this time it vanished completely from me, you know?
Very thick.
ठीक कड़ी में
Anyway, I don't know what he will do, but he's Ugra Narsimha, you know, he tears everything. I showed Koshali, this thread, Naran, I cannot even break it, how he breaks it.
Narsim Dev.
Yeah. How many? Yeah, and it's a nylon, you know. How many nylon thread he's broken?
He's not Garjantam Garjayantam.
God. Yeah.
Patalam Spotayantam Maranta.
So he's Ugra Narsimha, so he's like, he has so much heat in him. He keeps breaking everything, but I have never been so Nashing Harib conscious in my entire life. Then, you know, I'm looking at all my deities. You know, see, I mean, this is what we are reading in all this Bhagavatam. I'm looking at all my deities. You know, see, it's like material world and spiritual world. Right? When you look at the deities, are you in the material world or are you in the spiritual world? Isn't it? This is the whole mystery that is discussed in Bhagavatam. And you feel it when you know things like that. It's like Krishna really put me, right? I don't know how I slept. Again, morning, running, you know, for this. Till what time I got it? 11, almost 11 o'clock. You know, so that, you know, that sweeper just came, and I say, nobody, if anybody has found it, nobody will give this back to me. You know, I came to that, you know, to that desk there, and this cleaner just came and said, Mataji, couldn't believe it. Yeah. So, Krishna how Krishna becomes manifested, right? This is what we are talking about. How Krishna manifests himself. And so there are many ways. Text 8. अथाह भगवान् ऋषभदेव स्ववर्षं कर्मक्षेत्रम् अनुमन्यामन प्रदर्शितः गुरुकुलवसो लब्धावरेर्गुरुभिः अनुज्ञातो गृहमेधीनं धर्मम् अनुशिक्षमानो जयन्त्यम् इन्द्रदत्तायम् उभाय लक्षणं कर्म सम्मानायाम्नतम् अभियुञ्जन आत्मजानम् आत्मसम्मानानं शतं जनायम् आसा. After Nabhi Maharaj departed for Bhadrak ashram, the Supreme Lord Rishabdev understood that his kingdom was his field of activities, Karma Kshetra. He therefore showed himself as an example and taught the duties of a householder by first accepting brahmacharya under the direction of spiritual masters. He also went to live at the spiritual master's place, Gurukul. After his education was finished, he gave gifts, Guru Dakshina, to his spiritual masters and then accepted the life of a householder. He took a wife named Jayanti and begot 100 sons who were as powerful and qualified as he himself. His wife Jayanti had been offered to him by Indra, the king of heaven. Rishabdev and Jayanti performed householder life in an exemplary way, carrying out the ritualistic activities ordained by the Shruti and Smriti Shastra. Purport. Being an incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Rishabdev had nothing to do with material affairs. His name is what?
Rishab.
What is the meaning of Rishab? Rishab.
Rishi?
Rishab. Remember? Chief.
Huh?
The chief.
Chief.
Leader.
Brahmo.
As stated in Bhagavad Gita, Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya chadiskritam. The purpose of an incarnation is to liberate his devotees and to stop the demoniac activities of non-devotees. These are the two functions of the Supreme Lord when he incarnates. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has said that in order to preach, one must live a practical life and show people how to do things. All right. And you could say that's why Srila Prabhupada's life is exemplary, right? You know, nobody can complain that, oh, I am in household life, I can't practice, right? Can any devotee who belongs to ISKCON can say, oh, what do you know? You know, we are householders. Can anybody say? Prabhupada was a householder from the age of 21, I think. So, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has said that in order to preach, one must live a practical life and show people how to do things. Apani achari bhakti shikhainu sabare. One cannot teach others unless he behaves the same way himself. Rishabdev was an ideal king and he took his education in the Gurukul, although he was already educated because the Supreme Lord is omniscient. He doesn't have anything to learn. I just heard this story about Adi Shankaracharya. I heard that when he was 3 years old, he had already memorized all the Bhagavad Gita, other scriptures he knew by heart. Then he went to school when he came back after the age of 8.
He would go outside and sit on the trees,
Huh?
He would sit on the trees because he knew everything, and the master used to think, what is wrong, this kid doesn't even pay attention.
He was 8 years old. He had already learned everything. So he went to his mother. He said, give me permission to take sannyas.
At the age of 8.
What a short life.
Yes, he went and asked his mother, give me permission. So this is a living being. It's a jeev. Madhvacharya also. All these acharyas.
He's considered to be
Lord Shiva. Yes. Yeah. But Madhvacharya also. There are others like Jeev Goswami. Jeev Goswami, the son of Anupama. I think the son of Anupama. Nephew of Rupa and Sanatan. Small boy. Gopal Guru. Small boy, right? In Chaitanya Charitamrita, you hear of all these small boys. Genius, they're born, They've just come to protect Dharma. And so, although Rishabdev had nothing to learn from the Gurukul, he went there just to teach the people in general how to take an education from the right source, from Vedic teachers. He then entered householder life and lived according to the principles of Vedic knowledge, Shruti and Smriti. In his Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1.2.10, Srila Rupa Goswami quoting the Skanda Puran states, Shruti Smriti Puranadi Pancharatra Vidhim Vina Ekantiki Harer Bhaktir Utpatayaiva Kalpate. Human society must follow the instructions received from Shruti and Smriti, Vedic literature. Practically applied in life, this is worship of the Supreme Person Godhead according to the Pancharatrika Vidhi. Every human being must advance his spiritual life and at the end return home back to Godhead. Maharaj Rishabdev strictly followed all these principles. He remained an ideal grihastha and taught his sons how to become perfect in spiritual life. These are some examples of how he ruled the earth and completed his mission as an incarnation. So, the Vedic system is that you go to Gurukul, you learn Shastra, you learn what is this world, you learn what is behavior, and you may also get some skills to do a particular work as Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya. The Shudras, they don't go to school. We have already discussed this. They're not interested to sit and be disciplined. They serve the others, right? And when they come back from school, what do they do? What do we learn here? What do they do? Yes, and that's the whole scandal of our educational system. All mothers who are here, who have sent their children to school, spend money, maybe take a loan, right? Or the child herself took a loan, studied. What's the value? So the Vedic education, it is, your education continues lifelong. Not that when you are 60-year-old then you learn how to use WhatsApp. Alright? This is what we are doing. 60-year-old, 50-year-old plus I was when, what is that WhatsApp? What is that status? What is this, right? Lucky we are using for Krishna. What about those poor women, men, who have to go through all this training so that they can maintain their jobs? Right? And then these young guys, girls, they come up, they displace you. If the oldies do not maintain, if they also don't go back to school and all that stuff, the youth displace them, and then what do? The youth, they say, we know, you don't know. You are outdated, right? And they dominate you. That's what I say. They dominate you.
That is especially there for people who are in the technology, like my husband. it's a lifelong education. There is no end to it. One system is, outdated, the new system comes in. You have to stay abreast with the technology, otherwise you will get replaced very easily.
Everywhere, CFM also. If you are out of the job 5 years, you can't get in.
Yes, and here you can, and here you see the difference. You are lifelong education, but what type of education? What type of education?
Basic education.
I'm just saying, what's that education? You become perfect. At the end of your life, you become perfect. What's the perfection?
Remembering Krishna while going
Worshipping
shopping.
of the Supreme Lord.
Right? What is the use of reading books if finally you cannot surrender to Krishna? You can't depend on Krishna. You can't develop a relationship with Krishna. What's the use? That's why we read earlier, Sat Karma Nipuno Vipro Mantra Tantra Visharadaha Avaishnava Gurur Nasyad Vaishnava Swapacho Guruhu. What's the use of being a great scholar? You go to school, you learn everything, the Saddarshan, this one, that one, and then you don't become surrendered to Krishna. You can't depend on Him. You can't teach your children how to depend on Him because calamities are bound to happen. This is a material world, meaning every time there is a bomb under your seat, right? Right? So it's all useless. Practically applied in life, this is worship of the Supreme Person of Godhead according to the Pancharatrika Vidhi. So he taught an ideal grihastha. He remained an ideal grihastha and taught his son how to become perfect in spiritual life. See, whatever we are reading in Bhagavatam, whatever we are reading in Bhagavad Gita, we have come a long way. We are on the 5th canto now. So much has been discussed about the duties of a householder. Practically everywhere we haven't heard much about sannyasis and brahmacharis. We have heard about householders mostly, right? So understand that when, again now, Rishabdev, who is like the leader, the chief of human beings, as a householder, how he educates his children, this will make him become perfect. It's not how much money he gave them, it's not whether he left a kingdom for them, it's what he made them.
But Mataji, isn't he already perfect?
Who?
Rishabdev?
He's perfect, yes, but he's teaching you now. Alright? He's teaching us. We already read, he's perfect, he's the Lord.
He knows everything.
But he is teaching, he's doing so that we will do. Right?
What great men do, common men follow.
Yeah. So he remained an ideal grihastha and taught his sons how to become perfect in spiritual life. He taught. Was he successful or not? This is a different story. Alright? But he taught. We see the difference? Because we will read ahead what happened. He had a first class son. Who was that? Bharat Maharaj. Alright? A super first class son. He was the eldest. And we are going to read how he told all the brothers, you follow him. Right? You follow him. And he was so first class. At the proper age, I don't know, proper or immature age, he dropped everything. He went for Vanaprast, sannyas. And what happened? Yeah.
Dear Bharat Maharaj, no?
Yes. Alright. Why am I speaking of this? What are we to learn? No. Yes, this chapter is about the characteristics of Rishabdev. So why am I bringing in Jad Bharat, Bharat Maharaj? Why? I'm saying that Rishabdev is doing what?
He's teaching.
He's doing his duty.
But whether he succeeds or not depends upon him.
Ah,
Mataji,
He's-
Krishna's plan, na?
what?
Rishabdev-
You know, this is how Dhritarashtra spoke. What can I do? Not a blade of grass, move without the sanction of the Lord. Right? This is a constant reply. Whenever somebody approach him, don't do this, don't. Oh, it is all destiny. This is all this, right? He doesn't want to take responsibility. So, see, we cannot be duplicitous when we are in spiritual life. Right? So, we have to learn properly. Each and everything, is dissected and spread out, it's like one color, white, right? And then it is broken into so many colors. Here, Prabhupada's grace, everything is being spread out. Canto by canto, chapter by chapter. Alright. So here, I read again. Maharaj Rishabh strictly followed all these principles, meaning whatever he has learned. Shruti, Smriti, Purana, Adi, Pancharatha, Vidhim. Alright. He followed everything from the Shruti, Smriti, Puran, the Adi, the Pancharatrika, Vidhi. He followed everything. He didn't go to school and mugged it up, right? And I know all the shlokas. No. He came home, he applied whole life, then he taught it to his sons. He did his duty. So these are some examples of how he ruled the earth and completed his mission as an incarnation. Alright? He's doing his work, his mission. Text 9. येषां खलु महायोगी भरतो चेष्टा श्रेष्ठा गुणा असि यनेदं त्वरशं भारतम् इति व्यपदिशन्ति. Of Rishab's 100 sons, the eldest named Bharat was a great exalted devotee qualified with the best attributes. In his honor, this planet has become known as Bharatvarsh. King Bharat and Bharatvarsh. Purport. This planet known as Bharatvarsh is also called Punya Bhumi. What is this Punya Bhumi? The pious land. What is this Punya Bhumi?
All the God take incarnations because of Punya Bhumi. Or automatically become Punya Bhumi because God take incarnation.
Yes.
And all religious principles followed.
भारतवर्ष में हम भक्ति कर सकते हैं, भक्ति के लिए श्रेष्ठ
सनातन धर्म यहाँ का ही हो.
Okay, let's hear what Prabhupada is saying. At the present moment, Bharat Bhumi or Bharatvarsh is a small piece of land, right? Extended from the Himalayan mountains to Cape Comoran, Kanyakumari, right? Sometimes this peninsula is called Punya Bhumi. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given special importance to the people of this land, correct? Bell is ringing, okay? Bharata Bhumite Haila Manusha Janmayar Janma Satha Kari Kara Para Upakar. One who has taken his birth as a human being in the land of India, Bharatvarsh, should make his life successful and work for the benefit of all other people. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi 9.41. The inhabitants of this piece of land are very fortunate. They can what? What can they do? Purify, all right? Or is it that I just take birth in Bharatvarsh like the pigs and the dogs and the cows and the asses and the camels? If you've taken birth in Bharat Bhumi, Punya Bhumi, what are you supposed to do?
To purify yourself.
First purify. How do we purify ourselves?
To accept Krishna consciousness.
Yeah. Simple. They can purify the existence by accepting this Krishna consciousness movement and go outside Bharat Bhumi, India, and preach this cult to benefit the whole world. Right? So, devotees in the Krishna consciousness movement, what do? They go to bed early. They wake up early. All right? They eat only as much as required, not too less, not too more. Right? They get up morning, they take bath, they do some puja, chanting. Right? They follow a sadhana. If there is no sadhana, there is no purification of existence. They follow the regulatory principles.
Regulated life.
Right? Sadhana is extremely important. So this is how you purify your existence. Bharata Bhumite Haila Manushya Janma Yar. You become human being, do this. Janma Sartha Kari Kara Para Upkar. Do good for others. Just like we've spoken about King Rishabdev. He took care of his family. Right? He educated them. But now this is going beyond. Yes. Alright, not only your own family members, but it is para upkar. Everybody, the whole society. Next time. Tamanu kushavarta ilavarto brahm.
Our normal 290.
Chant.
Tamanu kushavarta ilavarto brahmavarto malantu kirtu vartasena
Following Bharat, there were 99 other sons. Among these were 9 elderly sons named Kushavarta, Illavarta, Brahmavarta, Malaya, Ketu, Bhadrasen, Indrasprit, Vidarbha, and Kikata. Kavir Havir Antariksha Prabodha Pipalayanah Avirhotra Tha Drumilas Chamasakara Bhajanah. In addition to these sons were Kavi, Havi, Antariksh, Prabudha, Pipalayana, Avirhotra, Drumila, Chamasa, and Karbhajan. These were all very exalted, advanced devotees and authorized preachers of Srimad Bhagavatam. These devotees were glorified due to their strong devotion to Vasudeva, the Supreme Person Godhead. Therefore, they were very exalted. To satisfy their mind perfectly, I, Shukdev Goswami, shall hereafter describe the characteristics of these 9 devotees when I discuss the conversation between Narada and Vasudeva. That's going to happen in the 11th canto. Hope we are still around, going to discuss the 11th canto. Text 13. Yaviyam sha eka shitir jayanteya pitur adesha kara mahashalina maha shrutriha yagya shila karma vishuddha brahmana babhuvuhu. In addition to these 19 sons, mentioned above, there were 81 younger sons, all born of Rishabdev and Jayanti. According to the order of their father, they became well-cultured, well-behaved, very pure in their activities, and expert in Vedic knowledge and the performance of Vedic rituals. Thus, they all became perfectly qualified Brahmanas. From this verse, we have good information of how the castes are qualified according to quality and work. Rishabdev, a king, was certainly a Kshatriya. Alright, he was a Kshatriya. He had 100 sons, and out of these 10 were engaged as Kshatriyas and ruled the planet. 9 sons became what? Good preachers of Srimad Bhagavatam, Mahabhagavat. And this indicates that they were above the positions of Brahmanas. The other 81 sons became highly qualified Brahmanas. These are some practical examples of how one can become fit for a particular type of activity by qualification, not by birth. All the sons of Maharaj Rishabdev were Kshatriyas by birth, but by quality, some became Kshatriyas and some became Brahmanas. 9 became preachers of Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Dharma Darshanaha, which means that they were above the categories of Kshatriyas and Brahmanas. Text 14. भगवान ऋषभा संज्ञा आत्मतंत्र स्वयं नित्य निवृत्तानर्थ परंपरा केवलानंदानुभव ईश्वर एव विपरीतवत् कर्माण्यरम्भनानः कालेनानुगतं धर्मम् आचरन्नेनोपशिक्षयन् अतद्विद्धं समा उपासन्तो मैत्राकारुणिको धर्मार्थयशः प्रजनन्दमृतवरोधेन गृहेषु लोकं नियमयत्. All right, Devahuti, my voice is finished.
Hare Krishna. Translation. Being an incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Rishabdev was fully independent because his form was spiritual, eternal, and full of transcendental bliss. He eternally had nothing to do with the 4 principles of material misery, which is birth, death, old age, and disease. Nor was he materially attached. He was always equipoised, and he saw everyone on the same level. He was unhappy to see others unhappy, and he was the well-wisher of all living entities. Although he was a perfect personality, the Supreme Lord and Controller of all, he nonetheless acted as if he was an ordinary conditioned soul. Therefore, he strictly followed the principles of Varna Ashram Dharma and acted accordingly. In due course of time, the principles of Varna Ashram Dharma had become neglected. Therefore, through his personal characteristics and behavior, he taught the ignorant public how to perform duties within the Varna Ashram Dharma. In this way, he regulated the general populace in householder life, enabling them to develop religion and economic well-being and to attain reputations, sons and daughters, material pleasure, and finally eternal life. By his instructions, he showed how people could remain householders and at the same time become perfect by following the principles of Varna Ashram Dharma. Purport. The Varna Ashram Dharma is meant for imperfect conditioned souls. It trains them